I am a Neville, Queen of England, though my path to this title was anything but straightforward. Born the daughter of Richard Neville, the Earl of Warwick, the man they called the Kingmaker, I was destined to tread the treacherous terrain of power and politics from an early age. Yet, even amidst the grandeur of courtly life, my existence has been one of uncertainty, sacrifice, and heartbreak. In 1483, I ascended to the throne beside my husband, Richard, Duke of Gloucester, who became Richard III. It was a time of both triumph and unease. My husband claimed the crown in the wake of his nephew Edward's controversial deposition. Richard assured me that his actions were guided by justice and a need to secure the realm, but whispers of betrayal and murder followed us like shadows. As queen, I was thrust into a position of immense responsibility and scrutiny, and I endeavored to navigate these tumultuous waters with grace. The court was both a place of splendor and danger. I oversaw the royal household, ensuring that the dignity of the monarchy was upheld, while also supporting Richard in his efforts to stabilize England. My days were filled with ceremonies, audiences, and the delicate task of mediating disputes among the nobles. Yet, beneath the surface, I carried the weight of my past, a past marked by war and loss. I had once been the wife of Edward of Westminster, Prince of Wales, the son of Margaret of Anjou. That union was forged not out of love but out of political necessity, as my father sought to align with the Lancastrian cause after falling out with King Edward IV. Edward and I shared little beyond our mutual duty, and his death at the Battle of Tewkesbury left me widowed and adrift. It was then that Richard entered my life once more, offering me protection and, eventually, his hand in marriage. I accepted, not only because of his kindness but because I saw in him a man of integrity and resolve, qualities rare in those who wield power. As queen, my greatest joy was my son, Edward of Middleham, our only child and the light of my life. But joy in my world is fleeting. In 1484, my heart was shattered when Edward died unexpectedly. The pain of losing a child is indescribable, and his death cast a long shadow over my remaining days. Richard, too, was devastated, though he buried his grief beneath the duties of kingship. Together, we mourned, though the bond we shared was strained by the relentless demands of the crown. The court grew colder in the months that followed. I became increasingly isolated, my health declining under the strain of sorrow and illness. Rumors swirled that Richard was considering a second marriage to secure the succession, whispers that pierced my already fragile heart. Whether these were merely the malicious fabrications of our enemies or born of truth, I cannot say. All I know is that my husband's love, once so steadfast, seemed distant in those final months. By March of 1485, my body was failing me. I sensed that my time was drawing to a close. On March 16, I succumbed to illness at the age of 28, leaving behind a legacy entwined with the turbulence of the Wars of the Roses. My life was a reflection of the times, a chessboard of alliances, betrayals, and fleeting triumphs. I loved deeply, suffered greatly, and bore the crown with as much dignity as I could muster. Though my story ends here, the echoes of my life resonate through the ages. Richard would meet his fate at the Battle of Bosworth later that year, his reign cut short and his legacy forever debated. As for me, I hope history remembers not only the tragedy but also the resilience of a woman who, despite being a pawn in the games of kings, sought to leave her mark on a world ruled by men.